Okay, so this video is about calculus and orienteering. And then you got to run up to the flag, and at the flag there's a punch, and so you punch a card that says that you made it to that flag, and then you head off to another flag somewhere over here, and you have to find all the flags, you have to punch in at all the flags, and then you've got to run back to the start finish line, and it's a race, it's a timed event. Okay, so we've got a flag that's out in the middle of the woods, and you know that there is a Jeep trail that runs so that at the closest point the Jeep trail is 1 kilometer from the flag. And right now you are about 4 kilometers from this point right there. And you know that you can run on the Jeep trail at about 13 kilometers per hour, and you can run through the woods at about 9 kilometers per hour. And I'm doing my best. There's all kinds of things with terrain and how fast you can actually run, but I think a fairly decent orienteer, not a world-class orienteer, but a fairly decent orienteer would be able to get 13 kilometers an hour on a Jeep trail and 9 kilometers per hour through the woods if they were trying. Okay, so now, without calculus, you have option 1, which is you go 4 kilometers on the Jeep trail at 13 kilometers per hour plus 1 kilometer through the woods at 9 kilometers per hour, and you get there in 4 divided by 13 plus 1 divided by 9. You get there in 0.4188 hours. Okay, option 2 is that you just cut the corner. So the distance that you're going to travel is going to be 4 kilometers squared plus 1 kilometer squared, square root of that, and then you're going to divide by your speed through the woods, which is 9 kilometers per hour, and so you get there that's the square root of 17, so it's going to be the square root of 17 divided by 9, and you're going to get there in 0.4581 hours. And so you say, well, seems obvious. I want to run down this Jeep trail to this point, and then I want to cut 90 degrees, and I want to go 1 kilometer in, and boom, I get there in less time than if I cut the corner. Aha! So the people who have taken calculus are about to beat you, and so now you're going to get a chance to beat them. Because what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the trail some distance x from that point. And so now our distance, our time, is going to be 4 kilometers minus x divided by 13 kilometers per hour for the section that we're running on the road. And then we're going to cut off the road, and our distance through the woods is going to be x squared plus 1 kilometer per hour squared, and we're going to divide that distance by 9 kilometers per hour. Okay, so now, since we're taking calculus, what we want to do is we want to take the derivative of this function, and then we want to set the derivative equal to 0, and that's going to give us our minimum time. Well, it's going to give us our minimum x, actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to take dt dx. And so if you look, I'm going to go through this quickly, and you guys it's your responsibility to sort of stop me and work through what this derivative is, because I'm not going to show you in detail. I'm going to get negative 1 over 13 plus 1 over 9 times 1 over 2 times 2x times 1 over the square root of x squared plus 1. That's me going really, really, really fast. So you guys stop me and figure out how I got there. Okay, so now I want to set that equal to 0. So then I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to make a 1 over 13 is equal to, that's a 1 over 9, x over 9, square root of x squared plus 1. Now I want to cross multiply, so I want to get 13x is equal to 9 times the square root of x squared plus 1. Now I want to square both sides, so I get 169, is that correct? I get 169x squared is equal to 81 x squared plus 1. So then I'm going to get 169x squared minus 81 x squared equals 81. So 169 minus 81 is 88. So up here I've got 88x squared is equal to 81. X squared is equal to 81 over 88. And so x is equal to the square root of 81 over 88. X is equal to 0.96 kilometers. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to run .04 kilometers on the road, and then I want to lop off 0.096 kilometers right there, and that 1 kilometer there, and I want to replace that with, that distance is going to be, if I square that, plus 1, take the square root of that, 1.386. Let's call it 1.39 kilometers. And so I'm going to run 3.04 kilometers at 13 kilometers per hour plus 1.39 kilometers at 9 kilometers per hour. So I'm going to get 3.04 divided by 13 plus 1.39 divided by 9, and I'm going to, I did something wrong, 1.39. 3.04 divided by 13 plus 1.39 divided by 9, and I'm going to get 0.388 minutes or hours. Okay, so multiplying those by 60, I've got 0.4188 times 60 is 25 minutes. So going this way, that's 25 minutes. Going this way is going to be 27 minutes. Going this way is going to be 23 minutes. So you say, this is the quicker way. But no, this is the quickest way. You can shave off another 2 minutes by cutting in a little bit earlier like that. And so I recommend that if you're out in the woods orienteering that you already know this before you start, because if you try to figure this out while you're orienteering, you're going to spend 40 minutes just working through this problem while somebody else is just running the slow way and passing you.